with our show, and we have Brooklyn Jones today, and we have some more cool people coming. Hold on to your hats. As soon as I see her, I will put her on to join. I know it's been a while. We were on a break, rebranding, doing a lot of things. We still are. I was on a break because I had a big move, so sorry about that. We were always here. We just, a lot of stuff we stopped, we took a break from. Hello, all. As you're coming in, we have a live today to discuss bullying, and our guest and supporter, new face, is Brooklyn Jones, and we're going to talk to her about bullying and her thoughts, and if she has any stories, has ever been through it. Love to have these discussions. They're important, so we're going to see what she has to say. I am okay, a little tired. But other than that, I am doing well. Oh, there she is. Let me do an invite thing. Invite? Did I say invite? I don't know. Wow. Did I do it? No. I haven't done one of these in forever, so now it's like...
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, all. Okay, so this is our guest for today, Brooklyn Jones. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Trying to get my lighting right.
I know, mine is ridiculous, and I can't find anything.
I didn't want it too bright, but let me turn off the air conditioner.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. We'll do like an ambiance of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Shady ambiance. So, I appreciate, again, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come on. So usually what I like to do is start out with you talking a little bit about yourself and who you are, and if you have any story you like to share about bullying personally.
Let's see. Well, what's up, everybody? I'm Brooklyn Jones. I'm a comedian out here in Los Angeles, just following my dreams. I have a talk right now called Magic. Hey, doggy.
Lucia.
What's your dog's name?
Lucia.
Oh, Lucia. Experiences with bullying. Okay, I didn't get bullied too much. I'll tell you a couple of instances. So in elementary school, I got teased a little bit because I had this really like my pair of shoes, and I wore like this start to heal. So because of that. And then in high school, this girl, I won't say her name. I was about to say her name. I'm about to put her on blast, but no, I'm not going to say that. And she was a bully. She punched me in my stomach really hard. She gave him a shaved fish, and we put him on a string, and I put mine around my neck like a necklace. And she punched the fish, which in turn punched me in my stomach really hard. And in the moment, it kind of startled me, and I was taken aback, so I didn't do anything. And then, like, later on that day, I was mad at myself because I was like, man, I'm a little bitch. Like, why didn't I punch her back? I should have punched her back in her stomach. Right. But now the moment's gone away. So it's too late. I can't just run up to her and punch her in the stomach out of the blue from like 4 hours ago.
Right.
I was mad at myself like all day. Even the next day, I was just mad at myself for not punching her back. And maybe like a week later, she had stopped coming to school. And we didn't see her anymore. So we're like, hey, whatever happened to her? And come to find out, she was pregnant and had to leave school. So if I punched her in her stomach, I probably would have killed her baby or something. I don't know if that would have been a good or a bad thing for her, but it's a good thing I didn't do it. So in retrospect, I was...
Yeah, I mean, that was a good thing. I mean, there was obviously something that said to you in your brain, I'm not going to do it, not going to do it.
Yeah. I didn't get like bullied where I was getting beat up, but I got teased sometimes. In 9th grade, I got teased a lot, and then I started to get a little taller, and the bullying kind of slowed down, but people were still trying me, and I started to stand up for myself. Like, I'm not gonna let these fools bully me anymore. So I remember there was one time I sat at this table in the lunchroom. And this girl was like, this seat's reserved. She was always picking on me. This seat's reserved. And instead of getting up and leaving, I said, it's reserved for me. And her other friend was like, what did she say? And she was like, she said it's reserved for her. And I was like, and then they just sat there like, okay, she's standing up for herself, so we're not going to do anything. So one thing I can tell you, if somebody's bullying you, you have to stand up for yourself, even if it's like scary. Because I was scared in the moment. I was like, these two girls are going to kick my ass. But I'm not letting them pick on me anymore. So after that, they didn't really pick on me too much after, because they knew that I was going to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
So it kind of, like died down a little. And it's so funny because I didn't even want to sit there anymore after they said that, but I sat there just to prove a point because I didn't want to get right up and then they think I got up because they told me to. So I just sat there for a while.
Right.
And I have to tell myself too, I actually was a bully for like maybe 3 days because it was cool. She sounded different than we did. From a state, so her accent was different. And we all giggled and we laughed and we thought it was funny. So we would tease her for her accent. And then, like, at one point, she kind of stood up to us and we were like, we're going to beat you up after class. And we, like, waited for her after class. We were like, we're going to kick your ass. And she just looked so scared, nervous. And I remember what it felt like to be bullied. Because I guess I was just so happy to be on the other end of that. But I remember what it felt like to be bullied, and I felt so bad that I was like, this is not me. Like, I can't be a bully. I can't. And I went up to her and I apologized to her. And we became friends. And I was like, protecting her now. I'm like, leave her alone. Don't pick her, So, like, that was just not in me. It was something that I tried, I guess, just to be cool, and probably like 10th grade. And I was like, this is trash. This is not me. And I was just like, I'm really sorry, and I've never bullied anyone again.
I mean, it's awesome that you said that though, and you like take accountability for that even if it was just for a moment, because a lot of us can't. And I think we've all, it might have been a bullying moment. It's not being a bully, because bullies do it all the time on a constant basis, and it stays with them for a while. And we do believe in rehabilitation. We have worked with bullies here, and people can change, and sometimes they can't, or they won't, or they don't want to. But, I've had other people that I've worked with, supporters and advocates, and they've said, like, I think I've probably acted in a bullying way before. And I was like, I think we all have at some point. But I don't use the word bullying because I think we've all, like, sometimes, like, people get confused. Like, right now, they throw it all over about everything.
Yeah.
And it's not really the truth. Like, a fight, a disagreement, telling someone off, cursing someone out because you had a moment, a friend, family member, those things happen, and we're human, and we have moments to make mistakes. We lash out, we say stupid things, and that's what people don't understand is just stop calling everybody a bully, because it's taking away from the real bullying that's happening just because I don't like this person, so I'm going to call them a bully.
Right.
And that's what happens now.
And bullies, like, I realized bullying is such a weakness. It's such a weak thing to do. Like, even when my little 3-day stint as a bully, like, I realized it was so weak because, like, a lot of times they do it, number one, to fit in. Number two, out of insecurity, so you try to project onto someone else, and you try to deflect the attention onto someone else so that it's not on you. So, you start picking on somebody else, so everybody focuses their attention on that person and not on you. So if you think about it, it's such a weak thing to do. And anybody who's a bully and who's like picking on somebody and making fun of them for something, or treating them like they're less than, it's because they feel insecure in themselves. So they want to put that attention on someone else and to make themselves feel better.
Absolutely, and that's very true. I mean, there's always something going on. And, one of the sad things I see is that a lot of the times on social media, now I don't know if you've ever had, as an adult, or dealt with fans or cyberbullying online. I have, and it's exhausting. It's taking people's lives, and people don't realize how bad it is and how much of an epidemic it is. I shared, this TikTok that I recently saw of this kid. I don't know if you saw it, but it broke a lot of people's hearts because he went to his neighbor's house to ask if they knew any kids in the neighborhood because he needed friends. And they mentioned the next door neighbors, and he said, I can't be friends with them because they keep bullying me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just heartbroken and destroyed that
Yeah.
this little kid had to go and ask for friends because people are not teaching their kids or having these conversations with their kids.
Yeah.
And,
Now, me as
you know,
a parent, I will become a bully because I'd be going over there trying to kick these kids' asses. Like, I can't watch a real bully. Like I just hate to see a kid have to go through that.
it's
It's so
hard.
yeah.
It's hard. And, but I like the fact that you said it's important to stand up for yourself because
Oh,
because people a lot of the times all of a sudden make the victim the bully and the bully becomes the victim. And I'm like, how do you see that? Because somebody defended
and it
themselves?
happens a lot.
We're,
Cool. Like people keep picking on a kid, and when he finally defends himself, he gets in trouble. I'm like, how?
yeah,
It's
like it
horrible.
doesn't make sense. It's like backwards, and it happens online too. I saw a guy one time constantly getting clobbered
Yeah.
and hate, and he responds and calls the person out, and they went after him. And I'm like, but
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. Actually, Instagram is the culprit because, as a comedian, the more followers I get, the more haters I get. And I get a lot of haters. I get people saying mean things to me all the time. And as a comedian, I want to roast the shit out of them, so I'm going to roast you back. And anytime I defend myself or stand up for myself, I immediately get flagged by Instagram. They're like, you're bullying. I'm like, I'm defending myself. And they don't flag them. They don't say anything to these people who are constantly saying mean things to me. And then it's like, I have to just take it because I have more to lose than they do. These are people on like either burner accounts or accounts with 200 followers. They're not making any money. They're not making an impact. They don't have anything going for them. So if they get kicked off Instagram, they just open another Instagram. Whereas I get kicked off Instagram, I have 13,000 followers. I have like a following of people who admire me and my comedy. I have a verified account, which, it's not the paid verified account. So it's not like I can just pay $15. Like I'm not paying $15 for a verified account. So if I lose this account and I get another account, it's not going to be verified because I'm not paying. You know what I mean?
right.
I have so much more to lose by defending myself. And there's been so many times where like I defended myself and they took away my monetization. So, I was monetizing and then I defended myself and they're like, you can't monetize your page for 3 weeks. Like they penalize you and punish you. And I just think it's unfortunate that Instagram, they penalize people who are trying to defend themselves and they let the bullies just run rampant. And it happens to me a lot to the point where it makes me so mad because I want to defend myself, but all I can do is block people. Like people say something mean to me and I can just block.
Yeah,
It's so
it's like Twitter's the same way. TikTok, I see that there's probably the least amount of bullying on TikTok, even though it's bad. I find to be Twitter's a dumpster fire of it.
yeah.
That's all you see. And I don't know, Threads is okay for right now. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I said something. I wasn't even bullying anyone. I forgot what I said. I just said something that sounded like it could be me. Like, this shit is dumb. And it was like, that sounds like something that a bully would say. I'm like, leave me alone. Like, I'm not even talking about anyone.
No, but see, that's the problem, and this is the issue with bullying and that's why we like to educate and talk so much about it and have these conversations, because everybody has these different experiences, and people don't, and I've said this so many times, stop looking at Google at the definition of bully, because it goes beyond that simple definition. And I've gotten shit for defending others, not even myself, other people. And I got cyberbullied for like over a year and it almost killed me.
Oh my.
And not a lot of people know that. And I mean, they doxed, they went after my nieces. They did all types of horrid shit. They find ways to get you your cell phone, hacking your accounts, and they all say it's a lie. And it's like, it's not a lie. You know what you did. You're sending me messages, emails, all over, like tweeting, subtweeting. They did all types of stuff. And one of the things I can't stand is victim shaming and telling people to ignore it like it's so easy to do, because it's not.
Try to ignore it and you find other avenues to reach out to you. Like this person on Twitter, they didn't like something I said. They didn't agree with my stance on something. So they were like trying to argue with me. And I'm like, I don't have time. Like, I just blocked them because I'm not doing that. And they went on my website and they looked up who my agent was. They emailed my agent. They were like, this is the type of person you want to have on your roster. And they called her, left her a message.
You see?
Called me, and she's like, you know, I'm just letting you know that you have a stalker now who's like calling me, and you know, they're upset at something you said on social media. And of course, she's not going to drop me because of that. She's like, you know, the more popular my clients get, I start to get calls about them, you know, and they start trying to get me to drop them. Like, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just letting you know this to make you aware that there's a person who's like angry at you. She gave me their phone number and everything. Like, if I was crazy, I could have started bullying them. You know what I mean? Because now I have their phone number. But I'm like, I'm not crazy, and I just don't have time for that foolishness. So I was just like, whatever. I just ignored it. But
you see how far they go. You see how far they go.
I've been very tempted to take classes on how to hack, just so I can school and just ruin their lives. Like, I just want to hack your phone and delete all your social media and delete your money out of your bank account. Like, I just want to be a hacker, so I can just make them mad or scare the hell out of them. Like, hack them and find out their address, and like, while they're cyberbullying me, I'll just be like, "Is this your address? Is this your mom's name?" You know what I mean? Just to scare the hell out of them. Because these people,
well, you know what I mean? It's like you do sometimes want to give them a little taste of their own medicine. And like I said, there does need to be consequences. I mean, I've gotten my attorney involved.
Yeah.
I mean,
right, hiding behind their little screens with their little Twitter fingers. You know what I mean? Because there's no consequences for them. They think they're untouchable. But in reality, they're really not. I just haven't had the time to learn how to hack them.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. They're not untouchable, because I used to do some, for public figures, cyberbullying investigation, and I had someone teach me all this stuff. And I knew some of it anyway, but a lot of it's public. But some of, like, you know, there's a lot of different, and it's not hacking, so I'm not advertising hacking, but I'm just saying, you know, like, there are so many ways to find out who someone is, where they live, their phone number, their address, because I've dealt with a lot of stalkers and people who really go overboard and could potentially become dangerous. And, you know, the thing is that they're not untouchable, but they think that they are because they use, I mean, everybody has a burner account. I mean, you know, I use it for cyberbullying investigation, and I use it like to make sure I didn't need my attorney involved in anything. So I use it to look. They use it to bully.
Right.
We all have one that we use to like glance around and snoop around.
That one. I have because I got kicked off Instagram before. I got kicked off Instagram for defending a friend who was being cyberbullied. She's not like
exactly what happened to me. I went through hell to protect and defend people that were getting called all types of horrific labels.
Yeah.
And like xenophobic and all types of horrendous stuff. And I got a giant, huge shit end of the stick because I was defending those people, because they really did not do what was being said.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in that. And like, if I know you and you're in my life, I will defend, because I've been silenced too long. You know, when you grow up with trauma and abuse and you feel silenced, when you get older and you're like, I ain't dealing with this shit now. Like, mine came from domestic and parental, but like bullies, like, I'm not dealing with bullies that are not family, that are not blood, and it doesn't matter if they are or not, but I am not dealing with bullies now that I'm grown and I can defend I don't have to feel silenced anymore, so don't silence me. So when people were like, I have your back, oh, but ignore it, oh, now you're looking for it, and I'm like, that's kind of victim shaming, because how am I looking for it? Because they send me an email thinking I think they need help, and you open it and it's this horrific attack.
I actually stopped defending people. Hey, Aunt May. I actually stopped defending people because I was like, Captain, say on here. Like, anytime somebody says something about my friends, I was the one like, yo, you better leave my friend alone. And, you know, as a comedian, like, I'm like dragging them, roasting them. And I realized, like, I'm getting in these little battles with these people who are attacking my friends. And then my friends are not even having my back in their battle. I'm like battle by myself, and you're just sitting there watching, and then they'll DM me, say this to her. I'm like, bitch, why don't you say it? You know, like, they're scared to fight their own battles, and they're calling me to fight their battles, but they don't even have my back. Now I'm kicked off Instagram because I roasted the hell out of somebody, and they're just living their best life, and I wasn't even in the fight. Like, it had nothing to do with me. They're like, this person's bothering me. Can you say something? Then I say something. now I'm in the middle of the shit, and they're like scot free. So now I'm not defending anyone else. Like
yeah, I really don't either. It's hard, but nobody asked me to do it. I did it because that's the type of person I am.
Not me.
But
that type of person.
You know, some of them had, like, I'm not gonna say there were people that had my back, but like but yeah, it's like I get that. It's like you are sitting there and you're like, okay, but where are you now from me?
We're supposed
like,
to
like you people tell you, and it's people that tell you that they have your back, right. And then like all of a sudden it's like a 180, and it's like where did y'all go?
And they leave you
just like
drive fight in their battle. So now I'm like, when my friends or people I know, they're like, this person's picking on me. I'm like, I don't do that anymore, because I'm not losing my social media account fighting with some fool on the internet. Like, it's not even worth it. And like, as a comedian and, you know, an actor, when you're submitting to acting gigs, they're asking for your social media. Like, I just submitted for some commercial, and they were like, what's your Instagram?
Yeah.
So, you know, I get kicked off Instagram. Now I don't have an Instagram. I have to start all over. Now I got 2 followers. Like, that matters. They want to see you have like a follower.
Absolutely.
With this bitch, because she only got 2 followers. Like,
yeah, they're like gonna be like, who's this?
Yeah.
Well, I had to start my account over. I had thousands of followers, and I lost them all. And then when I'm telling everybody to like follow me here, they thought it was fake. Yeah. And I'm like, see, now I gotta convince people that it's me.
Yeah.
And so, you gotta go through. Yeah, it's like I had quality followers and people that I work with, and you know, it's not. I don't ever think it's about quantity. I know in like entertainment it is, but for me, it's about quality of followers, like verified people that are really doing good work, or that you know whether they're in whatever part of entertainment they're in. I know people in every arena of entertainment, but you know, yeah, it's like I get it. Like I still see it. It's still happening. It's still all over the place, and I just kind of look at it now, and I'm like, say and do what you want, because I'm not going through that again. People have no idea what that did to me. It made me somebody I didn't even recognize. It got to me, my PTSD, my depression. Like, it totally triggered everything. And we were all traumatized from the pandemic. So then I had that. So I just had so much going on. And that I just went right off a cliff. And I spiraled. And people just...
Now, because that's a lot. Now I'm just like, whatever. I just block people. Once in a while, I give in and I might say something, but then I'm like, let me chill before I get kicked off Instagram. I'm just like, block. I lost this account for like 2 months. I didn't have an account. They wouldn't even let me start a new one. They blocked my IP address. I was out of there. And it was like 2 months. And the only reason I got my account back is because I had a friend who at the time knew someone who worked at Instagram. So he called them directly and was like, yo, my friend got kicked off. What's going on? Can you get her back on? They got my Instagram. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I would be back on Instagram. Like, I might have, eventually I was able to start a new account, but you know, it wasn't close to this one, because this one I've been cultivating for a long time. So the backup is like way down.
I know. I'm still, part of me is upset. I lost a lot of, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. A lot of toxicity went away, but I'm still trying to get it. It's just deactivated, and it's under a different email of whoever hacked it in a phone number. I messaged them my old account that I've been trying to get back. I messaged them like for 3 months, and I'm like, here is the screenshots. Here is this. Please just reactivate it and try to get me back into it. It's not deleted, it's there. I just and there's not even a response, and I'm like, you have to know someone, and if you don't know someone, you barely get help. And it's like, can you just reactivate it? I had so much stuff on there that
I thought who paid for the blue check. Is that true? I thought you could get support. I think like if you pay for the blue check, you can get customer support. So maybe if you pay for like 1 month just to get customer support and be like, yo, my other account is like hacked. Can you help me get it? And then you get back on that one and then cancel.
That's a good idea.
And if you pay $15 for the blue check, you get customer support. Like, I don't get customer support for mine because I didn't pay for it. I had it before like they started charging. But I guess if I ever need customer support, I'll pay for it on my other account though. I don't want to ruin this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know people, but I know, like, you know, public figures that have pretty good followings and blue checks, and when they have problems, they kind of still get ignored, but it's because they didn't buy it. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought when a person got a blue check, they got like, I don't know, some kind of customer support or some kind of person. You don't get shit. I think the only way I was about to say the only way you get it is like if you're a huge public figure, you have a lot of followers. But like I have a TV crush, doesn't matter. But she has like 2 million followers, and she's having problems with her Instagram right now. And I saw her post yesterday, I think, on her stories, and she's like, I'm having trouble with my Instagram, and nobody's helping me. Can somebody DM me? Can somebody like no support? And I really thought like the public figures with like 2-3 million followers were getting some kind of love. I thought they had like an Instagram representative that they could. I was like, damn, she doesn't get any love either. So I know they don't give a shit about me.
I think if you're like Meryl Streep or Dolly Parton or something, you probably
because like those big stars like Kim Kardashian and people like that, they I think they have a connect up there because there's a lot of money for the app. So they have like a person that they can talk to.
Those major, big people, they have no problem getting any help.
Yeah, but my TV crush, I'm about to say she ain't nobody. She is somebody, but not. She's somebody to me and like her fan following, but like Instagram, they don't give a damn. They don't know who she is. They're like,
yeah, no, that's the thing. And somebody told me that once because I've known people that have known people that worked for like Facebook and stuff. And they said, they're like, if you don't know anybody at these places,
yeah,
it is very hard to really get any type of real help.
Yeah.
But it's true. They protect the bully. It seems like these apps and even some people and people that like to say they're against bullying protect bullies.
They do protect bullies.
And the victims are just sitting there like,
as soon as I do something, they're like, you're bullying. I'm like, I'm not the bully here.
No, they just really don't know because, like, if a person just reports you for bullying, it's like they just take their word for it. And, you know, when people come to me, I always mediate, but I always do research. I never just assume somebody who's coming to me because there are too many times where people have came to our organization and we went to help them and then they turned out to be the bully.
Wow.
So people have yelled at me like, well, why don't you? I said, I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm saying I do research. I don't just assume.
Once they start losing, once they start losing, they'll play the victim. Like, oh, he's picking on me. Like, what did you do?
Yeah, it's like I don't just jump on sides. It's like say you have two friends that don't like each other. I'm still going to be friends with those two people. You all cannot like each other, and that's fine. I don't let people tell me who I can be friends with.
Right.
But just don't put me in the middle of your nonsense and be civil. And it's like, just because you're saying this person did something and this one's saying this person, I said, doesn't mean you both aren't in the right or have reasons to be upset. But it's like, you know, we had so many people coming that were like claiming to be bullied. And then when we went to their timeline and we investigated their social media, they were the bullies. And I was like, see, this is why I don't jump on bandwagons and listen to half-assed one-sided stories, because that's what happens.
Everybody's on their own from my end. If somebody's picking on you, that's on you. I
mean, you get to that point. Unfortunately, in what I do, I still get involved, but I only get involved to a certain point. And when it comes to my personal, like me as me and people that are in my life, I just told them, I was like, I just can't anymore, because I've done that before. And, you know, it's kind of like, from some people you get like a spit in the face, or you, like you said, don't have your, like, they don't have it in return when you're going through this all for them or for somebody that, you know, and it's like, well, I don't want to be impacted. I don't want the stress. I don't want the stuff. And it's like, well, I didn't want it either, but I did it. But again, don't have any regrets. Nobody has to ask me. I would still go back and do the same thing. It's just now I don't use that. I don't take that approach unless it's like one of my Ohana, like very close familia.
If it's my mama, you're going down.
Yeah,
anybody.
If it's something like that, then like I'm gonna speak out, because that's what my advocacy is built on: speaking out, stand up, speak out. That's really what the show is about, you know, like stand up, speak out. But there's just like personally now, I'm very, very picky about who I will go after and defend or say something to, because it's like sharks. It's like literally just sharks in a cage, and they open the cage and they let them loose, and you just get mauled.
Yeah.
And, you know, then they're the victims and you're the bad guy. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I don't know how in the world this works, but I'm Gen X. We didn't have all these issues. So, But, a lot of the stuff you said is really on point. There's a limit that we have, and we all reach it. And, it's like we become the bad guys because we've reached a limit and decided to call people out or say something, or we're mad. And it's like, we have a reason to be mad. It's not that you're being mad for no reason. So a lot of people, you have everybody that's different, and that's why I like these conversations, and they're important to raise awareness, because some people are like going the ignore route. I don't necessarily agree with that route. So, I like the fact that, you also said the same thing, and others feel the same way. We have advocates here that they will say something. They do not, if you're going to advocate for something, you kind of have to speak about it. You can't just sit there and be like, well, I'm just never going to say anything and ignore it all, but I'm a bullying advocate. I kind of feel like you can't really be an advocate or have activism if you're going to stay silent about everything. I kind of feel like that defeats the purpose. Yeah. Take action in some way other than just never doing anything. Like Dolly Parton just said when she was, I was watching something, and she said, I don't have to march to have support for women. It's in my songs. Like, one of the first songs I wrote was about supporting women, and I do other things, which Dolly Parton is like.
Dolly Parton's amazing.
Dolly Parton is like an epic legend, philanthropist, activist, everything. She should be president of the United States. Really, I think we'd be fixed in a week. But, but she said it the best. She was like, you don't need to march to prove a point or grandstand in some big way. She's like, I do it in other ways, but she says I also don't, I also have my own way of doing things, and I love that, because people always want to say, like, oh my God, you weren't out here marching, so you're not as good as me. And I'm like, maybe some people have other ways of activism. So, they say that you succeeded, though, if you have haters. So if you have haters, you're doing good.
That's a fact. And the more followers you get, the more hate.
Yeah, I've never heard of somebody, though, losing their whole account for defend. That's the first time I've heard of somebody when you said.
I didn't just defend my friend. I was defending my friend, and then the person I was defending her against, started talking shit. So I started talking shit, and we were just roasting the fuck out of each other. And I was winning. I was saying some really mean things, some of which were true. And I guess Instagram saw the mean stuff I was saying. They were like, she's a bully. She got to go. I don't know if the other person got kicked off. I think eventually I blocked them, or they blocked me. So I don't know what happened with them, but I know maybe a day after that, my whole account was gone. And I'm like, I didn't even do anything. But I guess that counts as doing something if you say something mean to somebody. But I was offending my friend. She was saying,
I get it
too. I was just winning the fight. But whatever.
I get it. I've had people say, of other people I've seen, and people have said, oh, this person went too far in defending themselves. And I'm like, you want to know something?
When you start messing with somebody, you opened up a can of worms. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like when you are sitting there online in that moment, going after somebody nonstop, back and forth, you're going to set people off. Mm-hmm. And if you can't take a clap back, then don't start the conversation and then turn around and play a victim.
Oh my God, people like that annoy me so bad. They have that feature where you can turn off your @ mentions. So there's people rampant all over Instagram saying all kind of messed up shit to people, and you try to say something back, it's like, you can't add that person. I'm like, how weak are you? That you're just running around saying anything you want to people, and you're so scared they're going to say something back to you that you turn your @ mentions off? Are you serious? Come on.
I've had that happen to me when I'm like, oh, I'm applying to this.
Yeah, I feel like Instagram needs to fix that, because I feel like if a person @ you, then you should be able to ask them. You know what I mean? Maybe you ask them out of the blue. That's fine. They don't want you to talk to them, But the moment they @ you, they open up an invitation for you to @ them back. So I feel like they need to adjust that feature where you turn off your @ mentions and you shouldn't be mention anyone else. The moment you do, they can say something back to you. I've had people in my comments talking to me on my page, and I can't @ them. I'm like, then you shouldn't be in my comments.
Exactly.
Talking on your page, you should be able to talk back to them. Instagram is wild for that. They're literally enabling bullies to be able to just say whatever they want to you, and you can't say anything back. What the hell?
they have a big policy. Twitter too. Twitter and all these apps. We have major policies against bullies. I'm like,
No.
Your policies against bullies are biased, and they protect.
They protect bullies. They're for bullies. They're not against bullies.
Because hate makes them money.
Yeah, and then they have like these robots who don't know what the hell they're doing, and they just assume based off what you said. They don't understand context. You know, like there's an account I follow. This man has pet monkeys. He has like 3 monkeys. They're really cute. One of the monkeys is something funny, and I said something like, "Oh my God, that monkey's hilarious." I got flagged for bullying. I'm like, I got flagged for bullying for saying a monkey is hilarious. It's actually a monkey. So I'm like, do they think I'm being racist and calling a person a monkey? Like, they're being racist by assuming that that's what I was saying. So I'm like, Instagram, you're the bully. You're bullying me. You literally flagged me for bullying, for calling a monkey a monkey. I hate this app so much. Like,
You're like, you're flagging me for calling a monkey a monkey.
I have to be on like career purposes in the line of business that I am. I have to be on this app, but I low-key hate this fucking app.
Yeah,
it pisses me off.
I mean, I have to be on for this a lot of stuff I do besides this and advocacy and stuff, like stuff that I do online. But honestly, I can't stand social media anymore because it's been destroyed. It destroys your mental health. It destroys relationships. It destroys friendships. I've seen it destroy marriages. I've seen it destroy, it just destroys a lot of things. And it used to be fun. It's supposed to be for fun and fantasy. It's not supposed to be this serious.
And it has this fun aspects, but then there's such a dark side to it,
Yeah, a toxic side.
So toxic. It's horrible.
And very hypocritical. It's like you'll read one meme that talks about being positive, and then 5 minutes later, another page under it is like, we don't do toxic positivity. And I'm like, I agree with the toxic positivity one, but I'm just saying, like, our minds are so warped and jumbled by seeing so many different biased opinions that are not run by any professionals,
at all.
just people with experience, and they make them their facts. I'm like, they're not facts. I have a degree in psychology. That is not a fact.
Right.
But I don't, like, sometimes I will call the accounts out, and I said, like, this is dangerous rhetoric for people with mental health issues, and I don't really think you should be showing this as a fact. Like, you should say, this is my opinion, or this is my story, or this is how I feel, but making people feel like this is a fact, or be ashamed, or everybody should be in therapy, and if you're not, there's something wrong with you. I said, no, therapy doesn't work for some people, and there's a million forms of therapy. So going to sit in an office and talking to somebody is a traditional form of therapy, yes, and it's good for a while. I've done it on and off for years, but sometimes other forms of therapy and that work together. It's not just one thing. It's not just a medication or a therapist or a walk in the woods or meditation or yoga. It's a plethora of things, and not everything works for everybody. So thank you, Aunt May. Everybody on social media is an expert. They're a lawyer, they're a doctor, they're a psychologist, they're everything. And I actually tweeted or threaded or whatever, I don't know, Instagrammed it, or I don't know what I did anymore. There's so many apps I can't even.
No, there's so many apps, and they just keep coming out with more. I can't keep up. I'm like, it's too much.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of been more on TikTok because I kind of feel like there's less chaos there, and there is, and it's not as much bullying.
Monroe,
it's there.
What's up, Flame? Oh my God, Flame Monroe is a hilarious comedian. We're on here talking about bullying. I'm sure Flame knows about that. Getting bullied. Flame has children, so I'm sure Flame knows all about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, social media is just like an avenue for bullying. And it's so sad because like adults are being bullied. You know, when you're a kid, you're like, you know what, when I grow up, I'm not putting up with this shit. Nobody's gonna bully me when I grow up. And then you grow up and you're on Instagram getting your ass kicked by somebody you never met before.
Right? Or like groups, and then like they inherit and they like collect people to hate on you, and then nobody knows you, and they just recruit people and everything. Like it's like you kind of got to see yourself as powerful though, and it's like you flip it around on them. Like if I'm not powerful, then you need to get you and 100 other people to come after me. I could kind of like turn that back around on them, and I have a very different approach now, and I'm like, I'm going to kind of consider myself powerful, and that obviously I'm bothering you in some way, that you don't, I really feel sorry for them. I really do.
Oh, bullies?
In that way. I feel sorry for the fact that they think that they're being cool and that they're funny and that they're embarrassing themselves and that they're even with public figures, because I have a lot of friends in that world and they've gotten reamed. And I'm just like, you don't even know them. Like, what happened? Just be a fan. Why are you following somebody you hate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, none of it makes sense to me. And it's like,
public figures and not have an opinion about anything. Like if you're a singer and you say something about the happenings of the state of the world, they're like, just stick to singing. Like, this is a human being who is a part of society, who is under the thumb of the same government as you're under, who is going through the same shit that you're going through to an extent. They have a right to express themselves about the state of the world that they're living in. They don't have to sing all the time. They're like, just stick to comedy. I'm like, well, this shit is not funny. So I don't want to joke
stick to
right
comedy, stick to acting, stick
now. Yeah,
to your music, your dumb box of rocks, and I defend, because I'm like, guys, no matter what your job is, we're all human beings. We
yeah.
all vote. We live here. We have a say. You're saying that a public figure can't be political because they act? It's a job.
Thing, those are the people who have a voice that other people listen to. So if they're, especially if they're on the right side of things, you want them to speak out.
Yeah, sometimes you shouldn't listen to them.
I know. To all of them, but you know,
don't listen to all of them, guys.
Mm-mm.
Some of them, I don't know what they're telling you or what
But
they're saying. Or
public figure, if you have a voice and you're able to use your voice to make a difference in a positive way, then you definitely should.
Yeah, because some of them are bullies themselves.
Oh,
but
celebrity bullies.
Yeah, there's a lot more bullies out there than people think. Everybody, you only see a little bit on social media, and that's the problem. And it's hard for me being a New Yorker and Italian and being like this person now that wants to speak up, because I'm like, oh, I feel like I don't have tape in my mouth anymore because I'm not going to get my ass kicked if I answer back, or something thrown at me or thrown across the floor or yelled at, or, emotionally tormented. But it's like, I feel like, my gosh, I want to say something. It's like very hard for me to not defend. Well, and it's not even myself, it's other people. And I feel, because I care so much, or especially if it's somebody I know, because I've defended strangers too, but if it's somebody I know and care about, I will go all out for you. You don't have to be a best friend, a close friend. You could be someone I just met. If I like you, and I want to have your back, I feel like I want to have people's backs. It's the way. I don't want people to go through things that I went through or have that feeling. So it's like, when you grow up with that type of certain trauma, it's like you're jumping to help people, but at the same time, if people actually knew the real story of, besides of some of what I shared of what I went through, mouths would drop. And it's like, I don't want to do that again.
What's Happy Smile? Nobody of New Era says, I want to join and talk about Happy Smile. Is that someone that you know?
I want to join and talk about Happy Smile.
Ooh, that's
I do not know what that means. Nobody of New Era. What do you mean, Happy Smile? I mean, it sounds nice. But, sometimes, you know what you can do now? You could have like 4 people on these lives. So sometimes people want to join in. Which on our show, I don't normally do unless it's somebody that I planned as a guest to come on. Because sometimes, like, I'm always afraid, like, no offense to anybody in the chat, but it's like, you never know what's going to happen if, like, someone's going to come on and tell somebody off that I have on.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a hater and they're going to come on and say some horrific thing, it's like, unless I know them, I get you have to be careful. I've gotten fooled myself when somebody asked me to come and join something and I didn't know that they were a stalker or an issue yet, and they had me join on with somebody else that was related to a public figure that I knew, and I was just like, I felt lied to, cheated, and stunned, because I was like, well, now what the heck am I supposed to do? I feel like an idiot on this, like, you know what I mean? And I just went along with it, and then, like, I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And because it was like, so I've gotten fooled a couple of times, so I'm very I'm very careful.
Yeah.
But Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's good that, yeah, I mean, the stuff that you're saying is beautiful stuff. I absolutely agree. I mean, love each other, and those messages are great. And it's like, I don't know, what do you feel about, like, do you as a society feel that we're like a tire fire?
Oh, what?
Like a tire fire, like a dumpster fire. I feel like as a
Oh,
society, like,
I'm the fire right now.
I
Right.
just feel like we've lost control, like all compassion, all empathy, all understanding, all grace, even for each other outside of bullying, like just relationships. I've never seen so many videos and TikToks and posts about people lonely and the way they're treated by people that they know, and people losing friendships after 35 years. A friend of mine just said, "Oh, my best friend just decided to talk to me." I'm like, what is going on in the world?
Yeah.
And then the
Well, for
best
me,
friend was
I
bullying her.
I've been learning how to protect my peace because I had a couple of friends that I've known for like 20 years, and I had to let them go. And it was because I started to pay attention not to how long I've known somebody or our history or how they used to make me feel. I started to pay attention to how they make me feel now. Like if I'm on the phone with them, how do I feel when I'm on the phone with them? When they text me or reach out to me, how do I feel? How do I feel after an encounter with them? Do I feel uplifted and happy, like, wow, that was nice? Or do I feel drained? Do I feel annoyed, irritated, anxious, stressed out? And I realized like these particular friends were stressing me out. Like every time I talk to them, I'm like, oh my God. When they reach out to me, I'm like, oh Lord, I don't feel like talking to this person. Or when I'm off, I'm like, oh, I'm so irritated. Why would they say that? And I was like, you know what? Why am I putting myself through this? I don't have to talk to this person if I don't want to. I don't care if I've known them since the 1940s. I don't have to talk to them because I have to protect my peace. So when if I feel less happy than I felt before I encountered you, then I don't need to talk to you. Like you should come away from an encounter with a friend feeling either the same way you felt before you talked to them or better than you felt before you talked to them. If you come away from them feeling worse every time you talk to them, then that's not somebody that you need to be talking to. And I paid attention to that. I started to pay attention to the way people made me feel. And I was like, you know what? I'm not talking to that person anymore because I
I
owe
did
it to
too.
myself to protect my peace. And I've been at such a more peaceful place in my life. I wake up happier, go to bed happier. I don't feel dread or anxious because I know that they're going to reach out to me or we're going to get into like a little bicker fest. Or you shouldn't be going through all that with friends. Friends are supposed to be people that uplift you, make you happy, and somebody to have fun with. If you're fighting with them all the time or arguing with them, or you just feel annoyed or anxious, that's not somebody that you need to be dealing with.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And it's like when you start getting weird vibes and bad vibes, and like you can't reach out to someone and have an adult conversation to either fix it or see what the problem is or why, like, or something's not clear or a boundary's not clear or you're
Yeah.
confused. And like, I'm a why person. I like to talk like an adult and I
Mhm.
don't like to text. And I think that creates a lot of issues. And, in relationships, I think it's important to call each other
Yeah.
out. And yes, it's going to sometimes be stressful and it's going to sometimes cause disagreements and arguments, but it doesn't have to keep going on like that if people just have a conversation and be done with it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, I don't have time or I don't want to, so I'm just going to cut you off. And it's like, but, and then, or like they'll pull the you're too much card or you're the stressful. And it's like, sometimes we're all a pain in the ass. We're all too much at times.
Mhm.
And it's like, I just started saying, like, if I'm not going to get the same energy back
Yeah.
from you, or you're going to keep doing 180s on me, you're not going to have my back. And like, you love, love, love. And then all of a sudden you act like you hate somebody. You don't really tell them what they did wrong. You don't know what the hell's going on. And you just kind of get mad and you just kind of end up telling each other off, or you end up, and I always find like sometimes it's good to just take space, let it go, wait a while. I've never really had issues in my life with friends. I've had friends that I have for years. I only really had issues when it came to social media, and
Yeah.
I had some great, great gems
Yeah.
that came from it, but also a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
And I'm a person that gives a lot of chances, but as I get older, I'm like, you backstabbed me, you lied, you did all types of stuff and disrespected me, and you refused to have adult conversation, and we just ran around in circles. Because so much could be fixed by a conversation, like an adult one.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you just have a lot of people just saying like, oh my God, like you said, you're stressing me out, and this is not going the way it should, and you know, nothing is fairy tales and unicorns. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, none of us are going to have that in any relationship. You know,
Yeah,
therapists will tell you that, you know.
a real friend, you're going to get on each other's nerves sometimes. You might get into an argument
You're
sometimes.
going to hear things you don't want to hear.
Yeah, but if it's like all the time, like every single time I talk to you, we're fighting, or every single time I talk to you, some people you just outgrow them. You know, you outgrow each other. You don't have things in common anymore. You're just, I don't know, you don't like each other anymore. You don't have to be friends with a person. You don't have to fight with them and cuss them out. And, you know, you don't have to have like a messy breakup with your friends, but you can go your separate ways. You know, like I wish you the best. We're not compatible as friends anymore. I don't wish any bad upon you. I hope you excel in whatever you do, but we're just not compatible and we're not meshing. So you go your way and I'll go mine. And that's how I feel.
That's exactly it. And it's like, you know, unfortunately sometimes when things happen like that, there'll be like, then one of the other one will bully the other one, or there'll be a mess, or there'll be animosity and resentment. And it's like, you know, there's some people that I don't want anywhere near me, and then there's other people that it's like, hey, I would like to fix it down the road, and maybe it'll change down the road. But right now, right now, we're butting heads too much.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of that causes sometimes. It depends on the circumstances, because it's like sometimes it does end up like where all of a sudden you're like, well, now I found out who you really are, and you're bullying me, and you're like, sometimes it like people turn into a different person, like you said, and then that's why you're not meshing. Because see, I am like who I am. It's why I've had friends for 30 years, you know,
Most of my
because
friends are like I've had them forever. Like
I'm a pain in the ass. I know it, but like I'm me.
Yeah.
And I'm me from the beginning. And do I have my
that
moments?
much of
Absolutely.
I'm like, I don't think I'm that much of I can be annoying sometimes, but I don't know. I think I'm all right for the most part. I think I have my like annoying little moments, but overall, I think I'm okay. And I'm a person like I'm not trying to be around you all the time, so I'll give you a chance to miss me. So by the time you see me, you really want to see me because you haven't seen me in a long time. I'm not trying to be like up under you every day, because that's when you get on each other's nerves. When you see each other every single day, you're always around each other. Like, give me a chance to miss
too much.
I'm like that with dating too. Like, if I'm dating somebody, I don't want to be around them every single day. Like, go live your life, and then we'll come together and talk about, you know, what we did. So we have something to talk about. I'm not like a clingy person that wants to be around people all the time.
Yeah, no, I have my moments too. Like sometimes I'm just like, ugh. I could be a texter, but that's more of like I just like to keep in touch because I don't talk to them or see them. But I'm like, I don't want to be like never talking to you ever. So it's like I've had too many people come to me like, why don't you ever call or text? And I'm like, so fine. So then I kind of got overly with it, and then you become a texter, and then everybody becomes an obsessive texter, and then everybody's like, okay, I can't text all the time, and it's like, well, you told me to. And it's just like, you know, you're just like, you're in giant circles, or follow up with me, and then you're texting them, and then people are mad for following up, and then they're mad because they said, oh, why don't I ever hear from you? It's like, you can't win.
Yeah, I'm too much texter. I need to get better with that because I hate talking on the phone, but it's so bad for me that I don't call anybody. Like, I don't call my friends. I'll text you all day, but as soon as you want to call, I'm like, oh God, I don't.
See, I'm the opposite. It's like I think a phone call is so much easier than texting.
A phone call gives me so much anxiety. It stresses me. I do not.
Well, you know what happens in texting? Then everything gets misconstrued. They can take it out of context. Then everybody gets in a fight. I'm just like.
That's when I call. I'm getting bold and I'm like, we're missing the tone, because sometimes the tone gets lost. You think that somebody has an attitude and they don't. They're being funny or whatever. So then I'll call. But if you're friends with me, you got to be a texter, because we're not going to sit on the phone talking for an hour. I'm not doing that. Like, I used to do that so much in my 20s and teens. I'm not sitting on the phone with you. Like, I would literally sit on the phone with my friends and we'd watch TV together. Like, what is that? Sometimes we wouldn't even.
I used to do that.
Like, oh, did you hear what he like? I'm not that person anymore. I'll text you all day. And then the bad thing about me is I type really fast. So my friends,
me too,
where I'm annoying. This is where I piss my friends off. I type really fast and I type novels, and they're like, bitch, I can't read all that. Like, what are you doing? Why can't you just call me? Why would you type me a Harry Potter book Now I have to sit here reading all that. And then like the thing that saves me is that when I'm typing these long novels, it's usually something really interesting or something funny. So they're like, you're lucky you're interesting, because I can't believe that I sat here and scrolled and read all that shit you just typed. Like, what is wrong with you? That's my toxic trait. I'm a texter, and I text a lot, and I force my friends to read my novels. And then I'm such a bitch.
I do too.
My friends, but like people type me long novels. I'm like, I'm not reading that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, oh my God, this is like huge. But then the thing is that it's because nobody wants to pick us up a phone, so I became a texter.
Yeah, and then
because I'm like, but you guys don't want to pick up a phone, and I want to pick up the phone, but you don't want to. So now I've become accustomed to texting like a maniac.
Yeah, and then I know there's voice text in the DM. I low key hate that. Like, I accommodate because. Like, look, bitch, you're typing me novels. I'm not going to type you a novel back, okay? I'll send you a voice note. I know you don't want to talk on the phone, so I'll send you a voice note. So I accept the voice notes because I'm the type of usually while I'm texting, you know what I'm saying? So then they want to send me a voice note. So now I got to pause what I'm watching so I can listen to what the hell they're talking about. And then I finally listen to it, and I'll respond to their voice notes with a text. So then I'm back texting them like, oh shit, now they're gonna send me another voice note. It was like 2 minutes long, so now I gotta pause my show to listen to them offer to me. And this is the annoying thing, like the voice messages on like Instagram and Facebook and even text. You can't control them. There's no scrubber, so you can't like fast forward it a little bit, or if you miss what they said, you can't rewind it a little bit. So if I want to hear what they said, I have to listen to the whole goddamn thing again. I'm like, I'm not listening to a 2 minute message again. So I have to listen to you saying the same thing for 4 minutes. No.
This is like my life with texting with people and video audio.
That's how you can scroll up and see what I said if you missed it. You gonna talk to me and send me a 3 minute message? I gotta sit there and listen to the whole damn thing. Oh my God! You know what? I might have to start talking on the phone, because at least on the phone I can be like, wait, what did you say? Instead of having to listen to the whole thing again, and then like you're listening to a voice message, and then like someone calls you or you switch away from it, and then it starts from the beginning. Oh, I just want to
That's happened to me too, and this is what I'm saying. And I'm like, and I would always joke around. I'm like, you can't get mad at me, because if you don't want to pick up the phone, I just want to send you a meme, or I'm just touching base. Like, I try to stay in touch with 150 people a day. I'm ridiculous.
I get so irritated.
Like, I don't do that.
Oh God, here you go with the damn voice messages. Kids just text like a normal person, and then they're like, here you go with the long ass novels, typing the Bible.
I used to do that, and then I started doing voice messages because I'm like, I ain't typing. And then, like, my favorite is when I type real fast too, and they'll be like, dude, I didn't even answer the first one, and you already got a second novel coming in.
Stop typing, because every time you type, it pushes up the thing that I'm trying to read. And I have like all these thoughts in my head, so I'm like, hurry up and read it so I can type the rest. I knew I was a problem when I had this other friend who also types fast, but she also types a lot. And I was overwhelming her. She was like, okay, like, bitch.
I know I've overwhelmed people, and I've apologized. I'm like, I'm sorry, my bad, but you know, I never lied about who I was.
Listen, I'm typative, okay? Some people are talkative. I'm typative. I will type you into oblivion. So if you're not ready to get these paragraphs, stay out of my DMs, because I'll type you a death. You hear me?
Yeah. I'm the same way, so I totally feel you. It's hilarious because some of what you're saying is like me, and like I've gotten in fights with friends over that, and I'm like, well, what the hell, you know? And then it's like, oh, it's stressing me out, and I'm like, well, you're stressing me out, and then this is what I'm saying, like we're all stressing each other out because.
So with your voice messages, sometimes I'm just gonna have to pick up the phone and talk to them. And this is what I hate. I ask somebody a question, and they're like, it's too long to type. I'm gonna call you. I'm like, I don't want to know the answer that bad. Like, I don't know. I don't care. I ask you.
If I'm in the mood to talk, I don't mind, because like I'd rather do that than just go back. Like I have carpal tunnel enough, so it's like, oh my God, you know what? Just call me if it's going to be long, because I don't want to have to read yours, and then I have to type back with 978 typos because I'm either mad or laughing or something, and I'm, you know, and it's just like, you know. It's like, I think a lot of the reason why friends are like, oh my gosh, you're stressing me out so much, this isn't good, we should take space, we shouldn't talk, let's take a step back, I can't have you in my life right now, blah, blah. And I think the reason is for that is because the bickering goes back and forth of so much misunderstanding, confusion, and people's way of talking.
Yeah, hold on.
And this is where talking and actually picking up a phone comes in.
the chat. What do you prefer? Texting or talking on the phone?
Yeah, texting or talking on the phone. It's a poll. You
Oh.
prefer texting or talking on the phone? I'm old school. I'm gonna be 44. I like picking up the phone.
I hate those.
Not all the time, though. Not all the time.
Thank you, Idrissa.
Really,
what do you
thank you.
prefer, Idrissa? Do you like talking on the phone or do you like texting?
All right, guys, come on. Texting or phone?
I will text with you all day. But as soon as you want to call me, I'm like, oh God, I'm busy. I don't have time. Because texting,
like, I don't have time. But I can
text you all day. But as soon as you want to talk, because like, I feel like when you're talking on the phone, you're in jail. You're trapped because you can't do anything else. I mean, like you can put in your earphones and you can walk around like cleaning up or whatever. But when you're on the phone, you have to give that person your undivided attention at that moment. You can't be like watching TV or doing anything else. Whereas texting, I can watch TV. I can text you back when I'm ready. I don't have to text you back right that second. I don't have to listen to you in real time. I can read it when I'm ready and text you back when I'm ready. I can be watching TV. I can be listening to music. I can't listen to music while I'm on the phone with you. Like, I don't know. I'm a multitasker. I like to do more than one thing. Like, when I'm watching TV, I need to be playing Candy Crush or eating or something. I can't do one thing at a time. I really can't. I have to be doing at least two things. So I'm watching TV, playing Candy Crush. I'm listening to music, drawing, or playing Candy Crush, or playing a game, or I'm texting you and watching TV and playing Candy Crush.
Yeah, see, I mean, I'm the same way, but yeah, see, but this is good because when people can admit their toxic traits and their issues and take accountability, that's what's really important as far as relationships, whether they're platonic or not. It's important to take accountability, which we all have not done. And I don't believe in throwing people away. I always try to keep fixed relationships. There's some that I have that I didn't want to fix. Most of them I do, and I'm like, just give it time.
Chances.
Yeah,
I've been known to give a lot of chances. Even when I'm like, I'm never speaking to that person ever again, I end up talking to them. Excuse me. I end up talking to them again. But once I'm done, I'm done. Like, when I'm really done, I'm really done.
But when I'm done, I'm done.
There's two people that I kept bringing back into my life, and then they piss me off again, and bring them back, piss me off again, and finally I'm like, I'm done. And this time I'm really done. Like, I cannot imagine ever talking to them again. I don't hate them.
I always leave the door open, especially if it was somebody you really cared about and it was good, and it's just like somebody was having a moment. Like when I was spiraling, I bled into people, but people also bled into me with their stuff. We've both stepped over boundaries. Boundaries weren't clear. I mean, we all have that stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't want to be the only one taking accountability. Other people have to do that too. And I think if everybody could just act like adults and we fix those things, it would solve half the problems of people getting stressed out or feeling unhealthy for each other. Like I felt people were unhealthy for me. So I leave the door open for most. There are certain people that I will never open the door for again. Because as you get older, you're just like, nah, because I found out they were bullies. So if you find out you're a bully or you tried to hurt me and destroy me and came after me to really just rip me apart, I don't know that I could ever open that door for you again. If it was just normal shit where people broke up, split up, or divorced their friendship, or somebody was okay, let's give you an example. Like sometimes for addicts, like you have to let somebody go for a while until they get better.
Yeah.
Or until they heal, because it's not them, it's what they're going through. And that's happened with me. I'm like, I try to stay away from people or I push them away because I just am like, I don't want to be a burden, and I've never wanted to do that. And so it's like sometimes we lose friendships when we're going through that stuff because it happens. But then, you know, like there's certain things. It's not just, oh, we're just arguing for the hell of arguing. That relationship's not working if you're just arguing for the sake of arguing. If there's something going on that's deeper, that's a different story. So, you know, it really depends on all types of things. But when I have somebody that turned into a bully that I really barely knew, some of them that I met online, I was like, oh, no. I mean, like, you're a bully. Like, I'm not allowing that in my life. And the backstabbing and the lying and the proof of it that I had and that I saw, and like some of the stuff that was like, you know, once you get to that point of bullying with me and backstabbing and going like way, way, way out there, I very most likely will not. I don't know that I would open the door to that again. And I have in the
I haven't
past. And
done any of that as an adult. I guess I got lucky and blessed. I don't have friends or acquaintances who are like that. The only bullies that
I didn't either
are
until social media.
on the internet, and I'm like, block, block, block. But like the people who are actually in my life that I actually know, anybody got time for that?
Yeah, no, that's the thing with people in my life too. Like we butt heads, we take breaks from each other's, but at the end of the day, we come around and like we've even blocked each other, and then we've came around and we talked, and we were just like, okay, we grew a little bit. I healed, you healed, whatever the hell was going on. But it's like when it gets nasty and it gets really like, and like there's hurt on both sides, there really should be a conversation. It really just depends what's going on. But, like if I feel not heard and seen, I'm just like,
My life is boring. I don't have any drama. I just be doing.
who wants drama? I mean, sometimes it's inevitable. Life is full of drama. I don't like drama in my relationships. I like to be chill and cool. But I have that, when you have that overthinking, over worry, anxiety, PTSD going on, it's kind of hard.
But I'm a very outspoken person. So if it bugs me too much, I'll ask or say something, and we'll figure out what happens there.
Yeah, that's usually what I do too. But sometimes that backflips on you. But, you do what you can.
So I'm going to have to get off soon.
No, we usually only do an hour, but I mean, it was a really awesome conversation, and I thank you for the support and love to have you back and do other stuff with you in the future.
For sure. Thanks for having me. Thank you everybody who tuned in and chatted with us too.
This will also be on YouTube once I have my editor edit it, guys, because I know a lot of people in different time zones. Sometimes it'll be a bazillion people in here depending on what time, and other times it's like in and out. So it will be on YouTube once it's edited, and BKO is getting back after a break and doing some things. So Brooklyn, it was so nice to meet you virtually so far. And hopefully I'll meet you soon in person. And
you're in New York, right?
I'm from New York. I'm in LA now. I live in LA.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in New York. I'm in LA too. So
no, I'm in LA.
Sure we'll cross paths at some point.
Yeah. Absolutely. But thank you so much again for your time in the conversation.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
All right, you too. Bye, guys. See you guys soon.